How many times has taking a scroll on Instagram affected the way you feel about yourself? I feel like for many of us, the answer is way too many. Our feed seems to be filled with people with perfect bodies, going on great vacations, working at the best of jobs, and living the best life. No matter your age, you pick these sorts of things out. Pew Research recorded these words from a 15-year-old girl. It provides a fake image of someone's life. It sometimes makes me feel like their life is perfect when it's not. Scrolling through Instagram or Facebook has become less about staying connected with the people we don't see every day, and more about the competition of who is living the best life. Years ago, we could only envy those who were directly around us. But social media has created comparisons between people every single time we pick up our phones. Comparison after comparison on our social media feed can begin to take a toll on our mental health and leaves many people feeling worthless or inadequate. Social media poses a problem for our mental health and needs to be addressed before it becomes an even bigger threat to our society. Today, I will be talking to you about the increase in mental illness over the past few years, the cause for the decline in mental health, and giving you solutions on how social media can return to the purpose it was created for, instead of the negative environment it creates now. The National Library of Medicine decided to study the connection between the use of social media and depressive thoughts or suicidal ideation. This was a complicated study since everyone feels slightly different about social media, and how much time spent on social media is different for each individual. After completing 16 different research studies on the topic, there were varied results, but all came to one conclusion. There was an association between social media use and mental health issues. In one particular study, the NLM separated subjects of all ages and both genders into two different groups. Over a lengthy period of time, one group was banned from the use of social media, while the other group could partake in social media use as much as they desired. The results found a 70% increase in self-reported depressive symptoms among the group using social media. These results allow for us to understand the overall increase in mental illnesses like depression when we tie them to the constant increase of social media users. These negative feelings experienced while using social media could be particularly harmful to those who are already medically diagnosed with anxiety or depression. People already struggling with low self-esteem or mental illness have a higher need for fulfillment when posting on their profiles, and associate feedback on their post as validation of their self-worth. So, where does this decline in mental health start? Does it begin as soon as you see the first post on your feed, or years down the road after seeing thousands of posts? Well, it begins at a different point in time for everyone, but gradually grows every time we are bombarded with comparison or specific things like Photoshop. We encounter Photoshop way more than we may ever know. Some images that are highly altered are easy to point out, but tiny manipulations can be nearly impossible to spot. We may never know how many people on our following lists alter their images, so we should never try to compare our unaltered images to their posts. Social comparison with or without Photoshop can cause unnecessary stress in our lives. Elizabeth Scott, a PhD, says it this way: "We see who is doing what we're not, and we may become stressed wondering if we're doing enough, earning enough, or enjoying life enough. We compare our regular lives with other people's curated best memories." It is easy to create a persona on social media consisting of the best events happening in our lives and of only the pretty pictures of ourselves. Dr. Hamlet from the Child Mind Institute states, "There's a so-called pretty filter on Instagram and Snapchat. Beautifying filters are used almost reflexively by many, which means that girls are getting used to seeing their peers effectively airbrushed every single day online." Solving such a large problem like the ones with social media and social comparison can seem challenging. Many people might see the problem as unimportant or unable to be tackled. Many people say the only way to solve the problem is never joining or deleting the apps. But this solution also cuts out the benefits. The true social and connecting aspects of the app would be lost, and this would also lead to issues like depression for many. Instagram recently adopted a feature where individuals could hide their like count to try and eliminate some of the competition between users. Even though this feature is a step in the right direction, Instagram should make the feature site-wide instead of for each individual to turn on or off. The feature only works if you do not see anyone's like count, not just a few of your friends. Instagram should leave all like counts unknown, and other apps should follow suit. On a personal level, we should be trained earlier on in our lives to recognize that our self-worth is not acquired through other people. Self-image has become quite the societal issue, and since other societal issues are taught to children in school, this one should be added to the list. For us who are not taught early on about self-worth, backtracking may be hard, but finding a supportive group of friends or role models who have experienced the same things as us may help. Social media will always create challenges, but until the next challenge arises, we must try to solve social comparison as soon as possible. The rise in mental illness rates and the overall decline of mental health is a very serious matter. Now we must unite for the purpose of making social media return to its original intention, because the problem with social media cannot be stopped unless we all take a step in the right direction. Thank you.